Three, two, one. Spencer, we made it happen. Welcome to the call, sir.
How's it going, Leon?
I'm doing fantastic here in Miami. Finally, I moved to the US.
Yeah, it's a lot warmer where you're at than where I'm at right now, man. I know that
I
much.
would, I would imagine based on how you're dressed.
Yeah, I was out a little bit ago and it was like 20 degrees, and I would bet that you don't even need a jacket where you're at right now, do you?
I don't. I'm
Yeah.
fully tropical, baby. Miami. I still don't know what's the temperature because you guys use this weird Fahrenheit system.
Yeah.
But I would reckon it's about like 25 degrees Celsius, which is fantastic for being in January, honestly.
Yeah. No, I was in Florida last week for vacation with my family after Christmas, and it warmed up to like 75. We got out and played pickleball and got to sweating, and I was like, man, this feels so good. I'm about to go back to where it's freezing, but yeah, no, I think that you're definitely in the best place to be in this time of year, unless you're gonna be snowboarding. So
Which is fun itself. Anyway, welcome to the call. This is a very informal call, about your experience with us. We've been working together for how long now? About a year?
yeah, 12 months or so. Yeah.
Yeah. And tell a little bit, why did you join? Why Selfmastered? How did it? What you were looking for? Anything that tells the audience what
Yeah.
you were looking
Yeah.
to get.
Well, why did I join? Well, I went from struggling really hard to get clients in my previous business, and I'll talk about what I'm doing now and like made that transition while being in self-mastered, where I was not making like anything month after month, was building my marketing strategy, my plan, and then I had a $20,000 month, and it was just this like huge like inflection point. And what I realized was that I was not going to have my business problems, therefore, weren't money related, and they were very clearly not financial related. It was all about performance. And I was struggling so bad to emotionally manage myself and that growth, and overwhelmed with everything that was going positive. Even I was starting to self-sabotage. And I could speak more to that maybe a little bit later from now. But I was on a call with some I would say some mentors. It was when we were with that marketing program, and
Mhm.
I was on a call with them, and I was talking about what I was dealing with, and they were like, "Oh, you should like reach out to Leon Castillo. He's in the community. He does this. That sounds like a lot like what you might need, because you're not needing marketing problems right now. You need like you need like self mastery help right now." So I looked you up, and then in a matter of probably me going down the rabbit hole for maybe an hour, I was booking a call with you because I was like, I
Mhm.
want to talk to this guy. I didn't even know what I was looking for. I just knew I felt like I needed help. And and then here we are. I knew that yeah, I knew I needed help. And then you presented a very clear path to helping me help myself. And that's really been the biggest thing this year is I've learned how to self-direct and be confident in my ability to, and I was talking about this with you a little bit ago, but make decisions, like
Mhm.
being a confident CEO. Because sometimes it's really never about just having all the right information. It's about being able to like filter out what you do know and make a decision, be decisive and move. You talk about it all the time. Being elite performer is all about speed of execution. And I was, man, a year ago, even a few months, I mean, even like half a year. I mean, it's been this evolution of self over the last year. I was paralysis by analysis has marked my entire life. And yet I'm an entrepreneur, and I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm like dedicated to this like path. And all the while, in order to really succeed and accomplish anything as an entrepreneur, you have to take risks, and taking risks requires like making decisions and like making a lot of them and failing a lot and failing fast and learning, and being someone who's been crippled at times by
Because your psychology was not ready at that time.
it was not I wanted it to be, and it wasn't.
And
Yeah.
that is the work, right? That is the work at Selfmastered.
Yeah.
And how has that changed you? in terms of
ask for like,
productivity, emotional management,
oh,
ability to be
yeah,
decisive.
how has it changed me? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be cliche. It's just, it goes deep. It goes deep because you can't have confidence until you have clarity.
Mhm.
And I was always confused a year ago. I chose confusion is probably how you would have framed it. Um, but man, and that just I have upgraded my mental heuristics, the things I think about, the way I think about things, the way I process information. Um, my working memory is much more, it's much smoother. I have a lot more RAM, so to speak. I'm not getting overwhelmed nearly as quickly, which allows for me to, I mean, it allows for me to like, even when like I'm the type that has been like easy to get overwhelmed. Um, and I mean, part of this last year is you've taught me how to talk myself down and how to stay like in the seat of self, not to get woo woo, and just be able to acknowledge, yeah, this is a very real emotion. What's it stemming from? What's it about? And what can we do about it? And like being pragmatic and analytical about the things that would typically derail me and cause me to either chase a rabbit I didn't need to chase or like lead me into a spiral that would just like put me out for a week where I would just be trying to, a week later regain the ground that I'd made the week prior, the month prior. So it was this always it's really been this like, it's always been a two steps forward, one step back. Now it's like I'm getting like three steps forward, four steps forward, five steps forward, half a step, or just keep going. And I don't know if I answered your question or not exactly,
That's a
but
great way of framing it for anyone who is listening. So what Spencer is referring to is in everything that we do, there's two sides, the conscious and the subconscious. And every decision, in order to be made and fully done, needs to be aligned, both the conscious and the subconscious. So every time you self-sabotage, it's because there's subconscious friction. You're trying to do something you don't want to do subconsciously. You don't feel you're ready. You fear of failure. And that is the source of procrastination, of overwhelm, eventually burnout, negativity, all of those things that plague entrepreneurs. And what especially we're saying is that you were plagued by that in the past, and you're not plagued by that anymore because you conscientiously are able to set a direction, understand what's needed, do what's needed. And then when you have that emotion, that subconscious friction, which is always going to be there, you know how to let it go. You know how to
mhm,
remove it, which is why you don't do two steps forward, one step back, you do five steps forward, half step back, which is,
mhm.
10x the degree of progress, I would say.
Yeah, totally. And I would just even like say one more thing. It's like y- it's so cliche. I'm just gonna say it directly.
Just say it, whatever it is.
I'm gonna preface with it. It's a little bit cliche, but man, I like my operating system, like it has just upgraded. Like it's upgraded like by multiple versions of last year. It's been many evolutions. There's been so many, and I'll just like say this. There's been so much value in able to have you in the room and be in the room with you where you've been able to help me self-identify and become aware of thought patterns and thought loops that have completely eroded, uh, derailed progress and eroded confidence in me. And something as simple, and this is like one of a thousand things you've helped me with this year with like when I'm talking, is my self-talk. It's just say I've always kind of like thought it sounded silly to like really like get serious about that. But the way I frame the way I frame things, whether it's in a positive or a negative, really does matter for my ability to achieve and affect the things that I want to in my business. If I'm talking negative about myself whilst talking about my goals, it really tells a lot about what my subconsciously is going on that's going to get in the way of me being able to perform. And I didn't recognize that until you brought it to my attention like for the fifth time. And I was like, oh, it finally snapped in. And now I speak a lot better about myself and about myself to myself and like to others. I'm very much more aware of that, which is a small
That
thing, but it's
that is
huge.
super powerful. It's super powerful because now we know research has repeatedly proven, doing the research on elite athletes, elite entrepreneurs, self-talk is one of the major predictors of success. Because if every time we fuck it up, and we're supposed to fuck it up to really fail until we win, if every time we, in those micro failures, we talk ourselves out of trying again, we're never going to succeed. It is what it is. And a guy who is successful is just someone who has failed more than anyone else. So, what leads that person to continuously try to successful? A good mental programming. How does mental programming manifest? Through self talk. Winston
Mhm.
Churchill has this quote that success is just the ability to go from failure to failure without quitting. Is exactly what
Mhm.
we're saying.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. It's so cool to see it because you got that business, you get that business, then you love that business, then you create a new business. So you've got
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
sorts. Your life has gone. You've gone through a lot of things that the average person would have quit. Right?
Yeah. About 9 months ago, I don't think I ever thought about quitting, but man, I was glad to have this community come back to you in the midst of like the tumultuousness of life in a short span of things with business and to be able to, like you were just referencing, I said it a little bit ago, but like I literally had started building the business of my dreams, I thought. And I was heading towards a seven-figure run rate with the
Mhm.
business that was starting to up to grow, and then to go from that to completely changing vehicles and building a new business, because I recognized, whilst starting to taste the success of the previous vehicle, recognizing I was like heading towards golden handcuffs. For anyone that's like watching this, I was a financial advisor and I was like building a financial advising business. And I realized that like I am the product. And once I recognized that I was the bottleneck to my business growth, that meant that I was going to be investing a ton of time um, in something and that was something I just didn't want. I want to be able to have like time freedom, and people talk about that a lot, but I do. And so I changed business models and I started a new business while being in Selfmastered. And you know, I don't know, I felt like what I had learned previously, like while like being here from the get-go and then like making that change, it gave me the confidence in myself to like say I could do this again. And now I'm heading towards I'm in a six-figure run rate right now, after like 6 months of being in this new business. And there's reason I have the ambition to be at a seven-figure run rate in the next, I don't know. I haven't really thought like specifically time frame. I just know like seven-figure run rate is like very doable with what I'm doing, and I'm confident that I'll get there. So
Okay.
that for me to be able to say that and to be confident about that says a lot about the way I think, the way I
Mhm.
believe, and and myself, and that all stems back from the work that I've done in the last year and the
Who do
coaching
you
that I've
think,
received. Yeah, go ahead.
course, and who do you think would benefit from an intervention like self-mastery? From because what we do is very different from anything outside, right? Very
Mhm.
different from any other coaching program, right? You've been to a lot of them. How
I
would you
have.
describe it? How would you describe it? And who do you think this is for?
How would I describe self-mastered?
Yeah.
Hmm. When you sold me on working with you a year ago,
Mhm.
you talked. This is what's coming to my mind, so I'll just go with it. Um, you talked about how I could have a Formula One vehicle, but if I'm not the driver that knows how to like maneuver that thing, it's gonna crash and burn. I'm not a Formula One driver. If I want to succeed as a Formula One driver, I have to become the driver, because the car in and of itself isn't gonna make it happen. And you talked then about it, and I didn't understand. I didn't understand exactly what you meant. I had an idea, it kind of made sense, but like I know now how important it is for me to become the kind of person that can affect my goals, to achieve my goals. And who I am right now, I know is not capable of achieving my goals. I have to become capable. I have to become more than I am already. And that requires upgrading the way I think, upgrading my belief systems, upgrading the frame which I like see reality. Because by the very nature that I don't have what I want, that means I have to do something different than I've already done. And that requires change, and change is challenging for the human being, for the human creature. Um, and our our brains are designed to not kind of resist change. And so for someone who is as ambitious as I am, I needed someone to teach me how to evolve myself at the rate that I need to evolve to achieve my goals and not get in the way of that. And that's what self-mastered has been for me. An equipping, it's been an equipping that I needed to be able to self-direct and be confident in my decisions. I said that a little bit ago, but like to be able to get very clear on who I need to become and reverse engineer the process and then just make it a process versus this like wish, like this wish and a whim. Like I hope I get there. It's like, no, I will get there because I have the path and I know the path. And it's just a matter of taking these steps. And that sort of thought processes just came out of me going through this, like going through Self-Mastered, which is more than, it's not a course, it's not a program. It's like, it's a self-transformation, like uh, engine. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to be silly about it, but it really is more than just like anything I've experienced before because there's the community aspect. I've met many people in the community aside from your community that you formed that are high level. And it really is a matter, like I genuinely believe more than ever before in the last year, I've felt this. It really matters who you do life with. Your environment matters, like your physical environment, your relational environment, and like the kind of people that are in the community are ambitious individuals that are also on this path to excellence and like pursuit of their big goals. And being able to like be in the room has been so big as well. So yeah, that's kind of if I could if that captures an idea, hopefully it does. Like I have become the driver and I know how to become the Formula One driver. And that is like money can't buy that. I guess it did. I guess it did.
It
But
did.
like
It did.
but dedication and having an actual like having like real wisdom and I don't know, man. I'm I'm not gonna belabor the point. I've just become the driver. You've helped me become the driver, being in the self-mastered. So
Because in essence, it boils down to knowing what to do and then becoming the right person to actually do it. So building a business, mastering whatever the high income skill, Facebook ads, cold email, whatever, is one side of the equation. But that is the side of the equation that most people only focus on. But 90% of businesses fail. And that's because the entrepreneurs who are leading those businesses are not ready. They
mhm.
don't know how to consistently learn and recreate the belief system and make the right decisions and update their identity and
Yeah,
perform consistently at their peak with full focus in order to get that done. That is becoming the driver, right? The business
100%.
is
Yeah.
the vehicle, right? You are the driver. You need to be the person who actually makes that done. As I like to say, you're one system and one transformation away of any goal. One system is what do I need to do, specific series of steps. Then who do I need to become?
hmm
And that's what it's referring to, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I heard it said not probably like about a month ago. It's like everyone wants to focus on strategy and like put 90% of your effort into strategy and 10% into mindset. But it really is the other way around. because it's not like it's really not unless you're building a rocket ship, it's really not all that complicated to like have like hit some like really exciting goals. The challenge so often is just like, how
It's
do you
always there.
think?
It's always there.
Putting the like self map being in the community taught me to like really put the focus where the focus needed to be, which is on becoming the person. Like, and that just all it's all about the mind and how I relate to like the world around me. And so, yeah, it's 90% mindset. It really is.
Cool, man. And who do you think this is for?
Who I think this is for? I legitimately joined this community because I knew that me a year ago was so locked out of potential, but I know I had so much. I knew I had so much, and I've always believed that. That's why I decided to invest in myself and do this. But I felt like I didn't have the keys to unlock the car or whatever. I don't know. I won't go with that. But like I didn't have the keys. I was like I knew I had more to offer. I knew I had more to give myself. And I wanted to have the ability to achieve more than I was capable of at that point in time. And instead of the person who knows that they have huge goals and they know, like you know that you want to tap into your infinite potential as an entrepreneur, as a person, then come to self-mastered. Learn, I mean, like it's called self-mastered because it really is about mastering yourself. And if you are capable of mastering yourself, you will be capable of achieving anything. And that's where infinite potential is tapped into.
Beautifully. But this is exactly how I think, and this is exactly what we're going to happen. Because you're already capable of it, but you just don't know how to access that, right? And at
Yeah.
some point, you're going to hit that limit. Like at some point, no matter how good you are sending emails or running ads, at some point the limit will be you. Your ability to believe in yourself, your ability to plan ahead, ability to consistently do the right thing, and be disciplined and focused. And that is a function of self-mastery. That is what we teach. Right? So if someone, last question, and if anyone is on the fence, when should they know it is the right time to join?
If it's about the money, like there's nothing like money. If I could have had the entire experience and then paid for it, like I would have paid for it 1,000 times over because it really is this thing. It's like, what if it's not about the money? My question is, well, what's it about? Like, are you afraid to commit? Like, what are you afraid? Like, are you afraid to grow? Like, if it's about the money, it's like this is the best investment I've ever made because it's been an investment in me. Like, I mean, I've paid tens of thousands of dollars into the strategy stuff for business. And don't get me wrong, we talk strategy inside of Self-Mastered because
I
we're all
love
entrepreneurs. We're all like strategic in having to grow our businesses. But man, like that money that I spent into those things, it was like it's almost like lighting it on fire. Like it was good knowledge, but like it wasn't like deep wisdom. Like the stuff that I like this is the stuff that is gold. Like if I could give you $1 and if I could if you would offer me $10 for every dollar I'd give you, I would give you as many dollars as I could. And it kind of feels like this. I gave you I made a trade with you that was you gave way more than I gave you in terms of giving me back like a confidence and um an assurance of self. And so like if you're on the fence about it, like what my question is like, what's your reason or what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of growing? Are you afraid of spending some money? Money comes back. Time doesn't. If you want to rapidly grow, then you need to upgrade. And so joining self-mastered is about like getting that time back because that's the only resource you'll never get back. And so if you want to
it.
move fast, then I'd say you have nothing to fear except putting this off.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that. That really means a lot because we've been working on this for 7 years, and
Yeah.
it really shows. Too. Thank you very much for that. Well, um, thank you very much again for jumping in. Now let's make sure that 2025 is even better than 2024 because one of the most exciting things about performance and self mastery is that it compounds infinitely. Marketing changes, right? Then the algo changes. You need to change the tactics. The strategy might change, but the principles and the fundamental wisdom that you use to operate in the world never changes. It only compounds. So 2025 is going to be much better than 2024, which was already great.
I'm
Thank
I'm
you very
I'm
much.
believing for it. I'm believing for it. And no, thank you. Always,
Are
man.
you excited for it? Because I'm really excited.
Uh excited is kind of an understatement. I'm kind of in a state of it's almost like not disbelief because I've been believing for this for a long time, like the growth that's happening, but it really is surreal, you know, that it's happening. It's like, oh, I'm manifesting the vision that I was carving out a year ago. Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool. So, yeah.
And right now we're setting the roadmaps. So the
Yeah.
first 6 months of the year are the most important because that's when most of the growth compounds. Before the holidays, before Christmas, before Black Friday, crazy stuff, it's all about really setting because I'm really, really excited for you. The next 6 months is really going to accelerate. Hopefully seven
Yeah.
figures. Who knows?
You said what?
Hopefully 7 figures. Who knows?
Oh, dude. In 2025, I might have to I might have to upgrade my thinking a little bit because I wasn't thinking that would happen this way. But maybe so. Maybe so. Let's talk to you that in a second.
Of course, I'll be every step of the way. Listen, thank you very much for jumping in. Have a fantastic first quarter. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
Cheers, man. Bye bye.
Cheers.